The year is 1908. A fisherman off the coast of Australia drags up a monstrous tooth the size of a man's hand. Scientists take one look and declare it belonged to the most terrifying predator that ever swam the oceans. They name the creature Megalodon Bigtooth and immediately start painting it as a 60-foot, 100-ton unstoppable killing machine that ruled the ancient seas and ate whales for breakfast. For over a century, that image stuck hard. Documentaries, movies, books, and clickbait. Thumbnails all agreed. Megalodon was the ultimate ocean tyrant. A super shark that could swallow a great white hole and still be hungry. It became the poster child for prehistoric terror. The shark that made Jaws look like a goldfish. Except, almost everything we thought we knew about it was wrong. And the deeper scientists looked, the more the legend started to crumble in spectacular fashion. For decades, Megalodon was portrayed as a hyper-aggressive monster that cruised the open ocean at high speed, attacking anything that moved. The problem, its body plan wasn't built for speed. When researchers finally ran proper biomechanical models and compared it directly to modern sharks, they discovered Megalodon was surprisingly bulky and heavy for its size. It had a massive, wide head, a thick body, and relatively short, broad fins, more like a giant, slow-moving great white crossed with a tiger shark than a sleek, oceanic sprinter. Its tail was powerful for short bursts of acceleration, but it lacked the streamlined efficiency of today's fast pelagic sharks. Those enormous teeth everyone loves to show off, they weren't designed for crunching through bone like a T-Rex. Where patterns on fossil teeth show, they were used more for slicing into soft, fatty tissue. Many scientists now believe Megalodon specialized in ambushing young or injured whales, targeting the energy-rich blubber, rather than fighting healthy adults. Hidden, it was less mindless killing machine and more smart. Opportunistic giant cookie-cutter shark that preferred easy high-calorie meals over risky battles. Even its famous size has been wildly overhyped. For years, documentaries love to claim 60, 70, even 80 feet. Recent, more accurate studies using better mathematical scaling and comparisons with living sharks suggest the largest individuals were probably around 50 to 55 feet. Still absolutely enormous, but nowhere near the boat-swallowing monsters Hollywood kept showing us. Compared to today's great white shark, which tops out at about 20 feet and weighs up to 2 tons, Megalodon was roughly 2.5 to 3 times longer and many times heavier. But it traded speed and agility for raw power and a massive bite. Modern great whites are fast, agile, and famous for breaching out of the water to catch seals with explosive force. Megalodon, by contrast, was a much slower, heavier ambush specialist that relied on stealth and surprise, rather than prolonged high-speed pursuits or acrobatic attacks. And here's the part that really hurts the legend. Megalodon wasn't invincible. When the oceans began to cool during the Pliocene and Pleistocene, whale migration patterns changed dramatically. Many of its preferred prey species either moved to colder waters or declined in number. Megalodon, being a warm water specialist with a very specific diet, couldn't adapt fast enough. Its massive body required huge amounts of food every day, possibly hundreds of pounds of blubber-rich meat, just to maintain its enormous size and keep its metabolism running. When that food became scarce, the giant shark simply ran out of calories and disappeared around 2.6 million years ago. The ultimate ocean tyrant turned out to be surprisingly picky about its menu and surprisingly vulnerable to climate change. But my favorite detail is how fragile its hunting style actually was. Those giant teeth, while impressive, were prone to breaking. Fossil records show many Megalodon teeth with heavy wear and breakage patterns. If it bit wrong or hit bone too hard, it risked losing its most important weapons. Scientists now think it relied heavily on stealth and ambush rather than prolonged chases or brutal fights. It would sneak up on a calf or a weakened whale, deliver a devastating bite to the soft underbelly or flippers to cause massive bleeding, then simply follow the injured animal at a distance until it weakened enough to finish off. Not exactly the non-stop rampage we see in the movies. In stark contrast to modern great whites, which are fast, agile, and capable of breaching out of the water to catch seals, Megalodon was a much slower, heavier ambush specialist. It sacrificed speed and maneuverability for sheer size and crushing power, making it extremely effective in its own warm, prey-rich environment, but also far more dependent on abundant, slow-moving prey like young whales. Modern sharks have evolved remarkable versatility, allowing them to thrive in ever-changing oceans across a wide range of temperatures and depths. Megalodon, however, appears to have preferred warmer coastal waters where large whale populations were concentrated. This specialization gave it dominance for millions of years. But it also made the species incredibly fragile when global temperatures dropped and whale populations shifted or declined. Another key difference lies in energy demands. A 50-foot megalodon likely needed to consume hundreds of pounds of food daily just to maintain its enormous body and high metabolic rate. Modern great whites are far more efficient and can survive on much less when prey is scarce. When the oceans cooled and prey became harder to find, megalodon's massive calorie requirements became a fatal liability. In many ways, its sheer size, the very thing that made it so intimidating, was also what ultimately doomed it when the environment changed. We often forget that being the biggest predator comes with enormous costs. Megalodon needed vast amounts of prey to sustain itself, and when those prey populations fluctuated due to cooling oceans and changing currents, it had no backup plan. Modern sharks like the great white are ecological generalists. They can switch between fish, seals, and even smaller sharks depending on availability. Megalodon, locked into a narrow niche of large marine mammals in warm waters, had far less flexibility. This lack of adaptability is likely what sealed its fate when the world around it shifted. Beyond diet and hunting style, Megalodon's physiology also set it apart from today's sharks in important ways. Its skeleton was made of cartilage, like all sharks, but its sheer scale meant it had to support an immense amount of weight. Fossil evidence suggests it had a very dense, heavy build that helped it sink and ambush from below. But this also made it less maneuverable in tight spaces or when escaping larger threats. Modern great whites, by comparison, have evolved a more balanced body plan that allows them to hunt efficiently across different ocean layers and temperatures. They can regulate their body temperature to some degree through regional endothermy, giving them an edge in colder waters. Megalodon, as a giant lamniform shark, may have had some similar adaptations, but its massive size likely required stable warm waters to function optimally. When global cooling occurred, this thermal preference became another major disadvantage. So why did we get Megalodon so wrong for so long? Because giant teeth wash up on beaches and look incredible. Because dramatic reconstructions and biggest shark ever headlines sell way better than large, specialized, picky eater that went extinct because of climate change. And because we humans love monsters, we want our prehistoric predators to be perfect. Unstoppable killing machines with perfect bodies and perfect strategies. The truth is usually more interesting and more humbling. Megalodon wasn't a flawless super predator. It was a highly specialized giant that thrived in a very specific ecological niche for millions of years. Until the oceans changed, its favorite food disappeared, and it cooled them to adapt quickly enough. The next time you see a documentary or movie showing Megalodon as an invincible 70-foot nightmare, devouring everything in sight, remember this: even the scariest shark in history had weaknesses, preferences, and limits. It was a product of its time and environment, not an immortal ocean god. And that's exactly what makes the real story so much better than the myth. Nature doesn't care about looking cool on camera. It cares about survival. And sometimes even the biggest, toothiest predator turns out to be surprisingly fragile when the world shifts around it. The real Megalodon wasn't a Hollywood villain. It was a remarkable but ultimately vulnerable specialist that reminds us how delicate even the most powerful creatures can be when faced with changing conditions. Understanding these nuances doesn't make Megalodon any less impressive. It makes it far more fascinating as a real animal, shaped by the same evolutionary pressures that still govern life in our oceans today. It also serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how dominant a species appears, specialization can become a double-edged sword. In the end, Megalodon's downfall wasn't a dramatic battle with another predator. It was a quiet failure to adapt when the oceans it ruled so confidently began to change. This story isn't just about one extinct shark. It's a cautionary tale about how even the most fearsome giants can vanish when the delicate balance of their ecosystem is disrupted. In our modern oceans, we see similar patterns with species struggling to adapt to rapid climate change and human impact. Megalodon's fate echoes loudly today, reminding us that survival has always been about flexibility, not just size or strength.